and their dialogue flows super well, and they feel like a legit for real friend group.
Yeah.
And Dylan Minnette, I actually know him because he was in a bunch of like Goosebumps stuff, like the movies, and I think even one of the TV movies before he was in the Goosebumps movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I watched all of those movies.
I
yeah,
mean,
he's the main
how many
kid.
years ago? Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair. No, it has been a number of years since I have watched them. So
People grow up.
thank you for giving me that out.
Yeah, has also been in a bunch of horror stuff prior to this.
Yeah.
I feel like he started kind of in like baby horror, and then is slowly graduating to like the more extreme stuff, and it's cool to see because I know we talk a lot about like the scream queens and stuff, but having dudes who are also super into being into this stuff is a lot of fun.
He was in Don't Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I have a big problem with that movie. I am not a fan of that movie. That makes me soups uncomfortable. But yeah, no, you're Jay. Yeah, he was in the newer Goosebumps, the 2015 one with Jack Black, which I hear phenomenal things about, but I just have not
It's fun.
bitten the bullet and watched it.
Yeah.
Just because
So
like I love
Tara's
the
8,
original.
Sam's 13. There's a 5-year separation between them.
Yep.
And then that they're in this pool hall that really clearly looks like a bar.
Yeah.
Have we confirmed, like absolutely confirmed, canon, what Sam's age is? Like they say 25.
But I guess not. I mean, I guess this could be set in like 2017, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Like,
yeah. I mean,
because
if them
was
say
set
it's
in
2022,
I'll keep an eye out. I'm sure Gail, Dewey, or Sydney say it's been exactly this many years since the. See, this guy is definitely the guy.
He's in everything. This dude's in everything.
Oh yeah, that I know him from
Kyle
Veronica
Gallner.
Veronica Mars. But to
Kyle
me, he's
Gallner.
definitely not in high school. To me, he looks like a 23-year-old who's like, "Can I buy you a beer?" Like,
well, I think he is. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think he is just this like Matthew McConaughey kind of, but more aggressive style, hanging around the high schoolers because they stay the same age type of thing.
I also love this scene. So we've met Kyle Gallner's character. He was harassing our friend group. I do love the friend group being in the quad. I feel
Jennifer's body. That's how I know him. Jennifer's body.
He was the
goth. He was the goth.
Oh, he was the goth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like in the house, we hear our song.
Yes. That's him.
We get Red Right Hand back, which makes me happy.
Me too. And they use it so well in this movie. I'm a sucker for when they edit the soundtrack into the beats of the movie like that. So for anyone who hasn't seen Scream 5, Red Right Hand is playing on Vince's car stereo. Ghostface is taunting Vince from behind the steering wheel in the parking lot, and the song's playing on the stereo, and then he cuts the engine and the song kind of cuts off, and then when Ghostface attacks, it jumps in again, and it's so good. And it's great throat stab.
Oh, it's so fast.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. That just in and out. Oh, I love it.
And I love the neck stabbing because because of physical limitations that you would expect of some ghost face killers in the past. You'd expect them to be more easy, less like in Scream 4, there was a lot of like pushing down.
Yeah, like slowly getting that
like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
And it was like
I'm gonna look you in the eye when I do this.
I don't know I could do that to Jay. If I assume you're like bigger than me, stronger than me, even if we're the same size, like height wise, I imagine like if I'm holding a knife over you, you'll just be like swat.
Yeah.
And then boom, we see Billy Loomis on screen.
Love it.
Yep.
This is the
awesome.
biggest spoiler for me of the entire movie of like, oh, what? Oh, the vocabulary word is diegetic. DIEGETIC. When the song is in the context of the show.
Okay.
So when it's on the radio, it's diegetic.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
I've
awesome.
only heard of it from other podcasts. And I'm like, I am putting that in my thesaurus.
Very cool.
So what did you think when you saw Billy Loomis on screen for the very first time and you were like, what the fuck?
Chase of beans.
I liked it. I thought it came out of left field, but in a good kind of way. Because I kind of shit on it when they did it in part 3 when Sydney was getting haunted. And I think it's just the execution of it is better done here. Because they don't try to, they make it very clear that she's just seeing things, you know what I mean? And yeah, I really like it. And I think it's a really exciting play in the movie. I think it also, before Ghostface shows up, and even throughout the movie, it kind of gives you a little bit of a red herring that she might actually be the killer. And you could get like a Fight Club, she doesn't know she's attacking herself scenario. But yeah, I liked it.
Oh, I was a big fan when I saw it. Well, like literally I was expecting Ghostface to be behind her or something, but when she came up and like I saw him and I was like me and my sister were just jumping up and down. Like it was and that was the thing too, when we thought that this was going to be like the final wrap up, like what a good callback, what a good way to bring it back around. Yeah. And so, you know, spoiler alert, there is a character that we know and love that does die in this. We'll get there when we get there, but yeah, so, you know, again, thinking when I saw that this was going to be the wrap up, knowing that character died and getting to see Billy on screen again, like for me it was just cool. We are wrapping this up in a really nice bow. I am so excited. And so yeah, when I saw that there was going to be a Scream 6, when Alina sent me the stuff, I was like, I mean, I'm gonna see it, but like, like you wrapped it up so beautifully. Let it rest now. Like you have 5. That's a good number. You have this beautiful love letter to Wes Craven. All of these key elements from all of the previous Scream movies. It's like you literally did it perfectly. What? You're not gonna replicate it. Like, Lord knows it won't. The 6th one's probably not gonna be like top notch like this one is. So yeah, no, I was so stoked for it. I loved it. I loved seeing him. It is really funny that they now have to take like a 40-year-old Billy Loomis and try to make him look like he's 18 again. So the beautiful,
they did it well, though.
The 1990s like man's middle part, the man now that's it's back with the women, but now it's a man's middle part in the 1990s, and you get those cute little like curls right up top, and he's still like brooding with his head half down and like staring through those curtain bangs. Like it's great.
Yeah, and like I said, it's really well done, and especially watching this before and after watching a movie called The Adam Project on Netflix where they did the same thing. It's not worth. I didn't like it.
Oh, okay,
loved it.
yeah,
I loved it.
I thought
I haven't really seen much about it. Like I've seen
it has Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
and that was enough for me to, and it's about time travel, and I was like, hit that smash button, the like button.
So Ryan Reynolds is great, and Ryan Reynolds' dialogue is great, and the little kid playing Ryan Reynolds as a kid is really great. Jennifer Garner's dialogue is miserable. Yeah, and a lot of the other script just feels real like mailed in, and like I had a bot watch 40 hours of time travel movie, and that's what it felt like.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but
there was a point in the
Catherine Keener who plays the villain. Is that her name?
Yeah.
So they de-age her, and it is not good. And it was like distracting, even in far away shots. I was like, "Fuck, this is like."
Yeah. It is a low budget. It is that one of my YouTubers I follow was like, you watch the finale and it's clearly in front of the green screen. He's like, to the point where you can do this and you can see like the green reflecting off of like the inside of my hand. So he's like, oh, it's clearly a cheap green screen effect that even like high school students can do better if given enough time.
I wanted to like
that's a bummer.
A lot of the action is fun, and like I said, Ryan Reynolds is great at being Ryan Reynolds.
I was going to ask, is this Ryan Reynolds getting to be Ryan Reynolds, but with time travel?
Yeah.
And a little kid and a mini me following him around, being the same, like one of the lines is like, God, you have a punchable face. I know, it's my face. Like I maybe I was drunk, but I cried a lot. There was a lot of like fun interactions between like the kid, like Ryan Reynolds and Jennifer Garner's as the mom. I just really enjoyed it. So this movie, I like that, you know, she's been Sam's being haunted by the secret. You have a secret. I'm gonna tell them your secret. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Are they gonna string this out the whole movie that we're gonna be like, oh God, what is it this whole time until finally, like, no, they tell us within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think that's great. Yeah.
By the way, Billy Loomis is my dad. I'm the reason our actual dad left. Sorry, I turned kind of angsty and juvenile delinquent, but I broke up our family.
But no, I agree, because a lot of times, like, you get it at the end and they're like, this all could have been prevented had you just said something, or like we could have done something, like we could have fought back better had you just said something. So like, you're absolutely right. Getting to knock this out like within the first 30 minutes of the movie, like, prepares everybody for what's coming next. We're like, okay, we know you're the daughter of a psycho. We know you're the reason why this is happening, which also, fun fact, this is the first Scream movie where the killer, killer doesn't have like a personal vendetta against Sydney. So that's also super cool in that next generation. And I will say, you know, we're going to come up, there's going to be another friend group gathering, and Mindy's really going to take the lead on it. And I love her monologue. I love how she explains it. I love how she breaks it down. I love that she calls them legacy characters. Like, I just think like this for this generation, this new Gen Z or generation of horror movies, like, I feel like this is a really good explanation of what we're seeing more and more of. So I do appreciate her like 2-minute monologue about what we're new generation of horror.
I love that scene, and yeah, there's stuff, so much of when we get there, everything they say as like, oh, but Wasabi was terrible, Ryan Johnson, Mary Sue, hashtag believe women politics, and I was like, oh my God, every single line in that like dialogue was all about The Last Jedi, every single line. And I was like, fair though, fair. Like, toxic fandom, Star Wars, fair.
Speaking of Star Wars, which leads me into the very delightful Mr. Oscar Isaacs, who just, I don't like the term daddy for any reason, but that man is a daddy.
For sure. Dude,
yeah.
I have a crush.
Thank you.
On
thank you, Jay, just out of nowhere. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, he is.
He's got charisma.
You know where I really fell for it, where like it really hit me hard, that I was like, oh yeah, we could all about it. When he played Gomez Addams in the Addams Family movie that I took my nephew to see. Yeah, his Gomez Addams, hearing him be so just romantic and over the top, I was like, oh, yeah. You can have my arm. You can kiss my arm all the way up and down. It was ridiculous.
You watched enough Letterkenny where I'm like, so you're gonna slide off that bar stool there? Like,
yes. You're all right over there, Gaylor. Yeah, no, I absolutely think he's phenomenal. But yeah, have either of you tried Moon Knight on Disney Plus?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Excited for it though.
All of a sudden, in the past like 2 days, I've seen like Moon Knight. Let's talk about it. Let's break down the Easter eggs and the spoilers and I'm like, oh shit! Now I have to watch this. Okay, fine.
So
like,
no,
twist my arm, why don't you?
No spoilers whatsoever. It is fantastic. I know nothing about the Moon Knight character. I had never heard of it before Disney had picked it up. My comic book experience was solely like independent comics and DC universe. I never went towards Marvel whatsoever. I grew up with all boys. All the boys in my family went very DC.
In my limited knowledge, it seems like a lot of the horror people I've met love Batman.
Yes,
dark.
Like, he's the Dark Knight. He is legitimately the Dark Knight, and I will say DC is much darker as far as like their artistic style and their writing style, and a lot of their villains are really just sickening